All right, Gerard, we gotta be careful this time around, or Scott's just gonna add more stuff to the game for you to do.
I know. Thank God we finally finished completing Five Nights at Freddy's 3 with Nightmare Mode done. 4 stars and done.
Oh, hey, look at that. NateWantsToBattle logged on to Steam.
Oh my God. This can't be happening. This can't be happening! What happened to an October release date?
Oh, the reckoning is upon us, Gerard! It's time for FNAF 4! Completionist style.
We're gonna need more help this time around.
Yes!
Warning, the video you are about to watch will feature a lot of jump scares from all 4 Five Nights at Freddy's games. These scares are used as humorous tools to make you jump and scream. You've been warned. If you're scared of scary things, don't watch this video.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of The Completionist. As the YouTube community has grown, we've had a ton of awesome guests come on the show, and Five Nights at Freddy's has become a staple YouTuber game. So, back once again for another episode of Five Nights at Freddy's is MatPat from the Game Theorists.
Well, it's good to be back, as always, thank you. No need to grovel or bow or kowtow, sir. Always good to be back, Beardy. So with Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, releasing the quote-unquote final chapter of this game, we needed to bring in the big guns to help us out with this one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, NateWantsToBattle.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm really psyched to be here and really psyched to be singing about Five Nights at Freddy's with you guys. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Wait, hold on. You said singing? You're a singer?
So you don't actually play the games?
I mean, I do, but I mean, I mainly just sing about them.
We're done.
We're doomed.
We're 86th.
We are finished.
This is it. We're done. We're dead.
We're next. It's
Go
over.
Home. Go home.
Game over, man.
You got the wrong guy.
That's it.
Wrong guy.
Sorry.
Wrong guy.
The big guns.
The big guns.
We were gonna get the big guns. These are moderately sized guns.
They said you were just as good as Markiplier. Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th installment of Five Nights at Freddy's is here. Officially called Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the final chapter, Scott Cawthon is pulling out all the stops for this one.
Let's talk evolution. We went from 5 animatronics to like 11 or 12 to 1 with bonus phantom scares, and that one wasn't even in a pizza place. And 4 just mixes it all up again. We've got a brand new setting, different mechanics, and holy jeez, look at these things. They're not animatronics anymore, they're monsters.
Not only are they monsters, but we're gonna call them ANIMONTRONICS. It's animatronics and monsters together.
Yeah, man, and say what you will about Cawthon, whether you think FNAF counts as a good game or not, but he's got props from all 3 of us for continuously keeping these games so exciting all the time.
Absolutely. And Scott, if this truly is the final chapter, if it is, thank you from all of us. But it's not.
You have changed all of our lives for the better. Thank you so much.
Holy jeez.
Oh, Scott, I hate you.
Damn it, Scott.
Not literally, but figuratively.
Damn it, Scott.
You keep getting everyone. Just
Damn it, Scott.
There is no storyline.
Time period wise, the Five Nights at Freddy's saga has jumped all over the place. People can't even agree on exactly when they're set.
Ha! Hey there, Gerard. Let your buddy MatPat theorize his way through the timeline, buddy. We've got a lot of key dates of 1987, 1993, and present day. It's a potpourri of disjointed goodness that reflect the overall ambience of this.
This game takes place in 1983, 4 years before the bite of 87.
Really? Nope, wait, I knew that. Totally knew that.
FNAF 4 takes place in 1983, with us assuming the role of a young boy who we can assume has been hospitalized.
Hospitalized? How do we know that?
The IV drip and bottle of pills next to his bed, Gerard. Come on, buddy, it's all about those details.
The game starts out with a minigame cutscene with us controlling the crying boy. The boy has a little golden Freddy bear that seems to be communicating with him in some way. His eyes follow you as you move around.
According to my notes here, it says that Golden Freddy isn't really known as Golden Freddy, but rather as Fredbear. Seems like this time around, Scott really wants people to know that they are in fact two separate, maybe, things.
The first minigame tells us the tale of a troubled boy who is locked away in his room with his Freddy plushies, crying himself to sleep. And as we defeat each night, more and more about the sad story of this boy is revealed. From this brother messing around with him using a Foxy mask, to his father leaving him locked away in a secret animatronics closet of a Freddy Fazbear location. This boy is being traumatized tremendously.
So yeah, this is FNAF 4. We aren't a security guard or re-experiencing the life of one. We are a young boy who's experienced some form of physical trauma to the point that he needs to be on life support. And we're in his room where he needs to try and fight off animatronics. Well, here's the thing. Take a look at what the animatronics used to look like. And here's what we're up against now.
Scott! Ugh. These are literally monsters, but think of it this way. We know the young boy has some ties with Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and that he's heavily medicated, so most likely he's hallucinating. We aren't dealing with animatronics anymore, we're dealing with a drug-induced nightmare. And you're not so much sitting in your bedroom as you are locked away in a mental prison. Five Nights at Freddy's is no longer a place, it's a state of mind. And this state is filled with ridiculous monsters.
What this does for you is seriously raise the stakes. Each night conquered is another night you get to keep your life. There's no paycheck to earn here, kiddos. There's just a little boy's life, the sadness attached, and still more nightmares that await you. Five Nights at Freddy's? More like Five Nights at I'm gonna need a therapist.
So taking what we already know from the lore of the franchise, I would say this game is the most emotionally driven one so far. This boy has a story of his own, and complex and powerful feelings you can actually relate to. I'd like to share my more in-depth thoughts and theories about the story too, and I will, but we'll have to wait until the final level section for that first.
And hey, if you want a deeper dive into the FNAF lore, you can check it out right here. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you release 4 games in the span of 1 year, but, you know, whatever.
And you can check out my songs and gameplay videos too. Look!
Wow, we sure have a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's content, don't we, boys?
We sure do.
Yeah.
Yep.
As the saga unfolds, Five Nights just gets better and better, and when it comes to FNAF 4, I'll admit, at first, I was a bit worried. The main menu sets a new tone right away, and when I first started the game, the graphics were a tiny bit less detailed when compared to the third one, where every camera and setup had a specific purpose, and the animatronics almost looked real.
The room is obviously a child's room, and it has 2 attached hallway doors on either side. Since you're in the center of the room, checking the doors actually requires the player to get off the bed and see if there's anyone there. No cameras here, friendos. And worse, for the first time, you can also look behind you. Gameplay innovation, ladies and gentlemen. More on that in a little bit.
The biggest new mechanic in FNAF 4, though, is the listening. The audio, and I want to stress this as much as I can, the audio is the most important aspect of the game. The game is a glorified hide-and-seek adventure in all of the right ways, and also all the wrong ones. Right, as in it's executed very well, and listening to the animatronics move or breathe while simultaneously using a dinky little flashlight to see if there's something there is awesome. Wrong, because it sucks when you lose!
Can we just stop for a second and break down the jump scares visually? First off, look at these guys. Hands down, this is the scariest of all 4 games. Notice how depending on who scares you, you're kind of going on a little bit of a camera ride. Literally, the animatronics pick you up and take you for a ride.
I wanna take you for a ride.
Animatronics were bad before, but now I can never look at them the same ever again. Look at these animatronics. Completing this game is such a mental, physical, and emotional commitment that I have actually spoken to my own real-life therapist about it. Yes, I have a therapist, and no, it's not weird. And legitimately, I'm suffering from a little PTSD from these games. Honestly, I don't even know if I could go to a Chuck E. Cheese ever again. Nope.
The listening component of this game is what makes it so different. You need to really understand what the difference is between the animatronics breaths, walking, and laughing sounds. Like a weird FNAF 4 version of Muldoon from Jurassic Park. You've gotta listen and know what's next. Or else. Clever girl. Like we said earlier, gameplay is totally different from the other three and ends up playing like a mix of some of the cooler aspects from the other games, with a handful of new features sprinkled in.
Our returning lineup features Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Freddy, with a golden Fredbear kicking around too. Balloon Boy isn't around this time, and neither is the puppet. But hey, Chica's cupcake for some weird-ass reason is now an awful animatronic too. All the animatronics have taken the title Nightmare, so we're up against Nightmare Chica, Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Foxy, Nightmare Freddy, and I guess at this point, Nightmare Cupcake. Who's ever heard of a Nightmare Cupcake before?
Checking the left door will stop Bonnie from coming inside. Checking the right door will stop Chica. You'll need to check the hallways to see if Bonnie and Chica are there, but if you turn the light on and they're right in front of you, bam, you're dead. To avoid death, you've got to listen for the breathing, which is very faint. If there's no breathing, you can check with the light and see if they're there. And then, if you hear the breathing, close the door. Now, I know what you're thinking, just turn around. Look at the bed. Ignore both doors and be safe, right? Nope. Think again. You know that cupcake? Chica sends it after you if she feels like you've been leaving Bonnie and her alone for too long.
So why look at the bed? Well, that's where your little Freddy teddy bear is, and if you don't turn around all the way to check on it as much as possible, a bunch of little evil Freddy bear gremlin things appear, commonly referred to as Freddles, and they hide when you flash the light on them. Basically, it acts kind of like a warning meter, because eventually, when you turn around too late, big old Freddy will be there waiting to get ya.
Now, the closet is Foxy's home, although technically you can see him peeking in from the hallways on certain nights, but details. Now, the closet is Foxy's home. The closet is actually always open, so you have to check it periodically with your light just to make sure that Foxy doesn't escape. If you see Foxy, close the door and hold it for a few moments, then go check again to see his status. Depending on his position, you'll know if he's going away or if he's just messing with you and sticking around. I hate when he does that.
I feel like a broken record saying this, but in my opinion, I think the newest FNAF right now, FNAF 4, is the most difficult in the series. It's the most stressful, the most scary, and the most intense out of them all.
Surviving until 6 a.m. this time around may be the hardest out of all the games, but I will say it's definitely worth it for the creepy minigames. There's 2 minigames that happen every night. One minigame is more of a cutscene that further explains the story of the boy and his mistreatment at the hands of whomever. The other minigame is catching the Springtrap plushie on the X mark. In front of you is a Springtrap plush doll that is going to try and kill you. If you check with the light at just the right moment, you'll win. Kinda weird, right? Well, here's the thing. If you win, well, Matt, tell them what happens if they win.
If you win the Springtrap plushie game, you win a few free hours starting into the following night. Seriously, starting the following night with a few hours less is awesome. It'll make the journey to night 5 a bit more smooth, and trust me, in the war against the animatronics, we'll need as much help as we can get.
Oh my God, please, where's John Connor? John Connor,
My
do your
butt is-
job, come back from the future, and murder
For the
all
love of Scott
them.
Cawthon.
My butt was so clenched!
As we play each creepy story minigame, we learn that this little boy is experiencing a lot of abuse, from his brother and I think maybe his father, to the nightmares of his imaginary friends. This young boy sure is suffering a lot, and the suffering is only furthered as we get to night 5, where at a certain time, all of the animatronics get replaced with Nightmare Fredbear, or more accurately, Nightmare Golden Freddy. And let me tell you, it's one of the worst ones.
If you manage to somehow conquer Night 5, you are then treated to a cutscene of what happened to the young boy. While at a Freddy Fazbear location on his own birthday, his brother and his bully friends take him and put him close to Fredbear's mouth, making fun of him and pushing him nearer and nearer. Then BAM! Everyone watches in horror as Fredbear chomps on his head. Ugh. And then, the game resets.
Usually, Gerard would move on to the completion bonus at this point, but before we do, we felt that the extra content in this game should be considered a part of the endgame scenario. See, cause after this, Night 6 unlocks, and yes, the game gets more difficult. But if you beat Night 6, you're treated to another extremely sad ending cutscene that involves the boy talking to his Freddy plushies. He's crying. But the plushies are there for him, comforting him, and reminding him that they will always be there for him.
And you would think it would end there, but alas, a 7th night is upon us, and this is where it gets scary. A new animatronic by the name of Nightmare has arrived, and yes, it is terrifying. It doesn't really do insane jump scare animations like the others, but it does make you feel incredibly uncomfortable, as he is the fastest and the worst of the crew.
If you somehow manage to beat Night 7, which, may I remind you, is really f***ing hard, you will be treated to a locked briefcase and all you can do is touch the locks with the following words on screen. Scott, what is going on here?
Scott has indicated that come October 31st, okay, sure, which was the original intended release date for FNAF 4, that DLC will be available to play, and this briefcase right here may just be the beginning of the end.
As far as theory goes, this is what I think Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is about. I think it's about the story of the acceptance of the haunting of the puppet. I know it's a lot of weird things I just said, but I think this is the story of the puppet. The crying sprite of the boy throughout the game looks very similar to that of the puppet. It's obviously not the bite of 87, but it's got this unique spin to it. There is this sudden loss and feel in the game, especially in that last cutscene we see. Wait, that animation is going. That means one. No! 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 No!
So, should we keep going?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, Scott, if you're watching, I hope you understand that we love you, that sometimes hate you, but we love you a whole lot. But this poor guy right here,
This can't be a thing! This is
worked to the bone to become a master at this game.
Here's the thing, Gerard suffers quite a bit when it comes to games, but when the games bite back, he becomes a bit of a rageaholic. And in this case, well, 420 mode is back, and you unlock it by typing in 2020 in the options menu.
From what I understand, 420 is the hardest it's ever been. Granted, you still get stars for beating each mode, and there's 4 stars thus far, but...
No, let me guess, Scott. 420 mode, 2020 mode doesn't get you anything, does it? Oh, you get a star, but there's nothing after that. Nothing but sadness and anger and a Xanax and blood pressure pills.
You're okay, buddy. You're okay. You're good.
Yeah, how don't you play something fun, like Tales of Symphonia? FNAF 4 has by far the most compelling story and scary mechanics. If this truly is the final chapter, if this is, then bravo, Scott. Bravo. I am skeptical.
This game is really hard, and it makes me cry.
The game is pretty tough, and boy, is it scary. But I will add that it has also brought so much solid entertainment to so many people out there. It's crazy. Scott wrote a great thank you letter to everyone who's played his game on Steam and even changed the image on his website in tribute. But come on, Scott. It's us who should be thanking you.
This game is really hard, and it makes me cry.
The FNAF saga is a confusing and joyful and difficult and fulfilling, sometimes, but mostly difficult, journey with a tough march to the end. This is maybe the best one. I don't know. Are you doing okay there, Gerard? Are you okay?
This game is really hard, and it makes me cry. You know what? Fine. F it. Let's do it. Let's do it live. We'll do it live right now.
It's gotta be close.
Come on, we're almost 5 a.m. right there.
Right there.
Nope. This is it.
No,
I'm done.
No,
I'm
you
done.
got it. Don't give up. Do not stop. Do not stop now.
Come on.
Right there, dude.
You got it. You got it.
6 a.m. 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 Come on.
It's almost there.
Give me the 6 a.m. already. He's back over this sword. Oh, come on.
Don't do this.
Get up!
Oh my god. It's okay. You're fine.
Safe place.
We're good.
You will.
Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the final chapter, is a great end to a great series, and it's one that will keep people engaged for years to come.
It's the most scary, the most intense, and the most progressive of the bunch. It's an amazing piece of work and apparently is being turned into a movie.
Completionists should go see a doctor, go take medication, and go seek medical attention after completing the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. DLC includes taking more medications, including hallucinogens, and going for daily walks through the park behind the gate, listening to Nickelback for forever. I'm in Shutter Island. I have my own Shutter Island, and I am Leo DiCaprio without an Oscar!
With that in mind, guys, we give this game our completionist rating of Finish It!
I could have got an Oscar!
Finish it!
What an incredible journey Five Nights at Freddy's has been. If you guys like what you saw today, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And hey, a really big thank you from the bottom of my heart to MatPat, NateWantsToBattle, our surprise last-minute special guest Mando Pony, and a special thank you to Aedon and Alfie for all their awesome tips and advice. For more Five Nights at Freddy's goodness, give Matt's video right here a click, and check out Nate's brand new song in it right here too. Now back to us. That's all the time we've got for today, guys, so please, as always, let us know what you thought about today's episode somewhere on the internet. A big thank you to these two awesome gentlemen, MatPat and Nate from NateWantsToBattle. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here.
Of course.
It's been a
It's a pleasure.
It's been a
Thanks.
long night of
This has
filming
been
and recording.
a very canon situation. This has turned into.
There are so many things that they didn't get to see in the creation of this
so
episode.
many horrible, horrible things.
So many strange and wonderful things. Strange.
Now-
Mostly strange.
Mostly wonderful.
Now, if you excuse me,
Depends on who you ask, I guess.
Oh, it was good for me.
You bet it was.
yeah, Andy, cover the shot.
So anyway,
He's here too.
yeah, what are you
Thanks for being here. Thank you for
Hi.
being in the video.
Thank you for being a friend.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you
thank
for
you.
being like Golden Girls.
And
I
thank
do my best.
And thank you, Scott, for the game. Oh, that was gonna be okay.
It was gonna be almost friendly. Almost
It was friendly, but everyone on the internet's gonna take it out of context and just
Yeah.
like.
Thank you for being a friend. Golden Girls, brought to you by CBS.
Oh, they're all dead.
Oh.
Except for one.
No, I was gonna say one of
One's
them's
alive.
How dare you?
alive.
How
Sorry,
dare
I'm
you say
sorry.
Betsy White is dead?
Oh, yeah. Betsy White is the only
Betsy
one.
White is
dead.
going strong, my friend.
Betsy White,
No.
I'm so sorry.
Snickers. Don't be a diva, have a
Oh.
Snickers.
That's okay. I was never.
Right?
You were.
Celebrity
you were the
password. Hot in Cleveland. Hot in Cleveland, Gerard. How could you forget Hot in
I haven't
Cleveland?
seen her in years.
Celebrity password. Community.
Community I've seen.
Okay, good. Community is great, right?
He's great.
Although most of them were just going.
What are we doing?
This is Mark's gonna cut this into random.